Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Yeah. Welcome to Massenomics, the world's strongest podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Massenomics. Make sure you go visit Massenomics.com. There you'll find the rest of our powerful content. While you're there, check out our store and buy yourself some of that sweet Massenomics gear.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 137 of the Massenomics podcast. Your same hosts are here again. We're back at it.
Some things just never change.
Death, taxes, and the Massenomics
podcast.
137 straight weeks.
They won't go away.
No, that's an impressive milestone. That's almost 138 weeks in a row.
It's getting dangerously close to that number. And just try and stop us.
No, I can't see us.
I mean, unless one of us goes on vacation, nothing can stop us.
Next week is Thanksgiving, I guess. So if you're when you're listening to this, you got Thanksgiving coming up soon.
Yeah.
What do you got planned?
I am heading to the southwest.
How far southwest?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, you're going more southwest than I am then.
We're going like Millette?
No, I'm going to Rapid City, South Dakota. So
that's still a little bit of a trip.
So when are you leaving?
I'm leaving on Friday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I have to check my itinerary with the whole crew again, but I believe it's Friday.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think we're gonna make a long trip out of it. I think probably like Tuesday evening or
really
Wednesday morning, and but we changed it up this year. We're gonna, a lot of times we'll get back Sunday afternoon and evening, and we're like, all right, let's do that differently this year. We're gonna leave a day earlier, and then we're gonna come back Saturday afternoon
and have like a day to chill. Actually,
because that's always my biggest gripe. Like I have fun when we go places and stuff like that, but I hate getting back Sunday late.
Yeah, and just to give people some perspective here, like we're talking 5.5. You got kids, it's probably over a 6-hour drive.
Yeah,
at this point.
Good 6-hour drive.
So it's a 6-hour drive, plus we're crossing time zones. So on the way there, it's great because you gain an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, you're time traveling.
Yeah.
But on the way back, on Sunday, when you just want to get home, now you have 6 hours in the car. You lose another hour. So as far as the clock goes, you're taking at least 7. It starts to be a lot.
It does.
Yeah, I've been bit hard by the Sunday night.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it just feels like the world's against you on that.
But this way, I don't like even if we got back Saturday at midnight or something, I don't care because I'm like, that's right, I'm gonna go to bed and do whatever I want to tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the way to do it for sure.
So you're flying up there.
We'll be flying. Yep. Don't want to do the 24-hour drive.
That'd be a fun trip.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I haven't been to Phoenix for a couple of years now. Actually, it's outside of the Midwest. I probably have not been to any place more than Phoenix. But yeah, we got some family down there, so it'll be cool to check in with some people.
Yeah, it'll probably be warm there too.
I would imagine warmer than here at least.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much.
Well, it's been almost 3 months since we've probably talked about how cold it is.
Yeah,
so we're right back at it again.
Last year that got to be a good theme, recurring theme of our podcast, and we're kind of there already.
Well, and we didn't let people know right away, but I don't think we talked about it. Like October 3rd or 4th, we had our first snowstorm of the year.
Yeah.
So I mean, we already had over a month and a half ago at this point, by the time you're hearing this, already had our first snowstorm and terrible weather.
And we had our last snow of like in April.
It was pretty late, yeah.
So what do we had? May, June, July, August, September. We had 5, yeah. Snow. We had 5 snowless months.
Yeah. And here we are, right back at it.
Yeah, so get ready for another 7 or so months of us talking about the snowstorms.
Yeah, and what's really added to the me questioning how I'm going to survive it is this year I have a dog. And I take my dog for a walk. Like in the summer, it's great.
Yeah.
Like the sun's up. It's kind of a nice way to start your day. You take the dog out, go for a little walk. You kind of just feel refreshed right away in the morning.
Yep.
Now it doesn't even get light until like, well, daylight savings just happened. So it gets light like around what, 8-ish?
Yeah, I think so.
But even then, it's basically dark, and pretty soon it will be completely dark in the morning when I get up with the dog. And then if there's any wind at all, it's the worst way to be awake for 5 minutes and be standing in like wind blowing less than 20 degrees. It is like terrible.
Yeah.
Like, you never would want to start a day that way. And right now I do it for the dog.
Yeah.
I'm just that dedicated to his quality of life. I'm a caretaker like that.
See, I've with our baby, I'd been taking her on walks because it's an easy way to like put her to sleep or like get her to chill and stuff like that, but that's becoming less of an option for me now because it's just
this is not baby friendly weather.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you actually, someone would probably report you pretty soon.
That's
like,
that guy's out freezing that baby again.
He's either up to something or he's trying to kill a baby. It's one of the two.
I was just thinking, how we had gotten some recommendations. We talk about shows that we watch on here sometimes, and someone had recommended 11/22/63.
Yeah, that one with all the numbers on it.
Yeah. Then that was a Stephen King inspired show on that's on Hulu, a series. I think it's an 8-episode series, and I've watched 7 of the 8 episodes. Actually, it's taken me since we got that recommendation until now. I've made it through 7 episodes, so it's been.
Oh, so you're like taking this slow.
Yeah, it's been really, really slow for me to get through it, but it is good.
Is it?
It is real. It's really interesting.
Well, I just assume when the Stephen King name is attached to it, like at the very least, it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, it's a guy. There's a time travel element to it, and he goes back and this isn't spoiling anything. This is what the show's about.
Synopsis.
Yeah, he goes back in time and he has to try to stop the Kennedy assassination that took place on 11/22/63.
Yeah, I think it sounds really good.
It is really good.
If I had Hulu, I would watch it. I'm just not on my Hulu portion of my life yet.
And the main actor, I keep forgetting his name. You would know who he is. He's like buddies with the guys from Superbad, and he's kind of really goofy and weird. He's in like 123 Hours.
Oh, James Franco?
Yeah, there you go. James Franco is the main.
Buddies with the guys from Superbad. I like that. I'm thinking like Jonah Hill. I'm like, well, he is one of the guys.
Yeah. Isn't he buddies with those guys?
Yeah, they're all in the same stuff together.
Was he in the Me Too? Did James Franco get
Me Too'd? Yeah. I think he did actually. It got discussed on one of the talk shows.
But I mean, I'd be like, well, of course, like that guy.
It's not totally surprising.
No. But he's pretty good in that show. And it's it's not a comedy whatsoever. It's a drama, and
he does have a few of those serious roles.
Yeah, it's pretty good. 123 Hours, also a serious role.
Yeah,
I think that's.
I never saw that one either.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It might have been 124 or 122.
It might be.
Could have been any combination of 3 numbers.
It might not even be 100 in some.
It could be 200 or 300 even.
124 hours would be a long time. I guess I might have that wrong.
Really, it could be any amount of time.
Yeah. You were talking about getting a new device, though, a personal
So
personal
Tanner
device.
and I both, I will say straight, like I'm a bit of a tech fan. Like I watch a lot of, like it's just exciting to see like the new stuff people are coming. And everyone likes new stuff, but when I say a fan, I'm almost purely just a fan because more than a fan, I'm also cheap.
Right, right. That's the.
And there's probably a lot of people out there
two
like
things
that.
Kind of like
it's hard to be like a fan of tech and also cheap.
Yeah.
It's nearly impossible.
And that's why you have the latest iPhone 6.
And that is why I've been with the latest iPhone 6 since the day it came out.
If you think you're cheap, I use a Palm Pilot.
Actually, Palm came out with a new device just like in the last
phone,
week.
Or?
It's supposed to be. It seems really bizarre, and I have to look into it more. But from what I saw, I think it's supposed to be like a companion phone for when you don't have your phone. I don't really follow at all. Like I like to me that's kind of what watches do a little bit right now. But at least the watch like you can just wear that on your wrist.
Yeah.
But if you still have to carry a block around, what are we?
Are you familiar with the Palm Pilot?
Yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
We had one of those.
Did you really?
I don't know what the use of it really, even to this, like it never got used for, and it had like the stylus built into it, And,
which was probably a little ahead of its time in some ways. But so yeah, I'm a little bit of a fan of tech. Like I like the cool new shiny stuff. I never get it. I'm also like a Mac guy. Like I run my own graphic design business. I've been using a Mac for 10 plus years. I enjoy Macs. I like iPhones. Like I know the ecosystem really good. I know the ins and outs of the programs. Like, I'm very comfortable with where I'm at. The stuff's reliable. It works good. If you like Windows, I totally get that too. It's whatever you want to do. But finally, after, over 4 years now with the iPhone 6.
The latest iPhone 6.
The latest iPhone 6. It was just enough was enough. I couldn't take loading things as simple as like, let's get the camera app going. And sometimes it'll work instantly and you're good. Other times you'll just tap the camera and it might come on, it might not. You might wait a while.
It might crash.
Like, that's really annoying. And so I got to the point where I noticed I just was like, screw it, not even taking photos anymore. So I just wasn't even taking photos with my camera at all. Snapchat had basically become useless.
Yeah.
And that one's probably more on Snapchat than anyone else. I think that's probably them maybe not investing in keeping up with the older stuff. It's probably hard to do to keep up with everything they want to do, but Snapchat, I don't even bother with. We were both talking about this. You can press that video button, and it's just going to go and sit and sit, and then pretty much guaranteed as soon as whatever you wanted to see is done happening, then it will start to work.
It's pretty much ruined Snapchat for me because the one thing I would use Snapchat for is if I'm driving through town and say I see Larry out working.
Yeah, like
Larry
let's get a
from
quick
the gym,
video of
he's
Larry
out
working.
doing construction, and I'm like, oh, I want to get him. And then I got my phone up and I'm holding it and driving by, and I'm like, and it didn't work.
Yep. My options are go around the block or just don't care, and don't care is a lot easier here.
Yeah.
So, Snapchat was pretty much the point it wouldn't be used. And then the one those are both you can be like, well, whatever, social media, pictures. But then the one that got really annoying too, and I thought I was the only one until right before you said you had this problem too. Podcasts will not work over Wi-Fi. I have 2 different podcast apps, just the Apple Podcast app and then Overcast, which is my preferred podcast app. Neither one will work with podcasts unless I'm on data. And you said the same thing.
Yeah.
We have Wi-Fi on. You hit play on a podcast. It'll play the first 5 to 10 seconds. It quits. You can scrub ahead, fast forward, do whatever. Nothing happens.
Nope.
Just nothing. Switch that to data. Starts burning, starts downloading instantly, and you're good. And I don't know what that is. I assumed I was the only one that had that happen to, so I didn't even bother to research it. But when you said that, so maybe there is some workaround out there, but the fact that it happens like that in 2 different apps is really, really weird.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to maybe enjoy the just the normal things in life again.
Just the function of it, like just basic utility.
Enjoy those normal first world things again.
Plus, like, is there the screen and the
I just went with the 10R because, like I said, being cheap, I will buy the new one because I know I'm going to hang on to an iPhone for 4 years.
4 years, or
that's pretty standard. The last one I had was 4. I had a 4S for.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I might have had that one for 3 years, but
that's what I had before this too. So I might
we're
have to copy you.
We're on
and
the
get
same
to
path here.
Yeah, and I know that you got this sick slightly before me because we were on a trip or a driving trip somewhere, and you had it, and I was like,
I'm trying to think of where we would have been going, but I do remember talking to you
I think we were going
to
a bachelor party or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was probably your bachelor party.
It might have been.
That would have been like in. Or no, that was in May though.
I
just know we were on a trip together, and I remember talking to you about it and trying to sell you on
whoa.
It's way better having a bigger screen.
And here we are sitting like, oh, these things suck.
That's how it goes though, man. Yeah. But I mean, I went with the 10R. They have the 10S and the 10S Max, but I just have a little bit of a hard time shelling out $1,000+ for a phone. Like that's a lot of money, and I also wanted more storage because I kind of like the idea of like my phone being like a complete archive of everything that I can just grab whenever I want. And so for me, I'm at like 58 gigs of my 64 used. And so with the 10R, I could go to 128 gigs for $800. And some people are probably saying that's an insane amount of money to spend, but you probably also spend money on things that I think are really dumb. Like you probably have a $35,000 truck, which I would never ever do.
Right. Well, and you made a good point too. It's everyone has their phone on them all the time.
How many things in your life do you have on you all the time?
Yeah.
And just there is a thing like a mental weight where that every time I reach into my pocket, if I try to do anything with Snapchat, I'm just going to get frustrated. And like you carry around that burden or like I want to take a picture and it might not work.
Yeah.
And like you just always have that nagging in the back of your head like, oh, this would be really cool. It's not even worth doing anything about because it's not going to work. Right. And so just to clear out that fatigue, and then also in the morning be like, oh, I'm making my breakfast. Let's check out a podcast. oh yeah, that might not work either. And so I'm just like, let's go to the new one here.
Well, and like for me personally, it makes more sense for me to invest more in a phone than it does even a desktop computer.
Because you like people probably don't understand how much Massenomics content is produced on an iPhone.
On a phone, yeah.
And, like, we're not saying like videos. We're saying like almost every meme you've ever seen, almost every verses you've ever seen. Those aren't produced on a Mac laptop. Those are produced on an iPhone. And some of you probably don't even understand how that's possible. Trust us, it is.
So that's what I mean. Like, I use this for a lot of stuff that we do here, and we have a desktop Mac at home, but a lot of times, honestly, at home, it's more convenient for me to be, even if we're at home and I want to do something, like just with kids and stuff like that, it's easier for me to just be where I'm at, and use my phone.
Hop on the phone.
And I become so used to using this. Like, I have an iPad and stuff too, but I don't even use that because it's just easier for me to use this one thing.
Well, and that is the thing. It's like you start to, like, when you really start to take these devices and make them your own, like you put apps on them that a lot of people don't use because they work for your workflow, and you get them to do you start to get things to do the way you want to use it.
Yeah.
And unless you take the time to do that across all things, like, your phone is the easiest way to do it. And, really, when I think about it, though, 4 years on a phone, like, that's pretty dang good. If you are any type of, like, my dad, probably anyone's parents, most people's parents, they're basically, like, calling, texting, and maybe using the web browser. Like, that's what they use their phone. Like, they don't need, like, anything. But you start to push, like, the limits, and not even the limits, but you just start to do things that are a little more intensive as far as, the demands on the processor and the RAM and all that stuff. A little nicer phone's kind of good to have.
Yep. And also, that's just the trend of the price in phone. Like, $800 even maybe 5 years ago would have seemed really expensive, and at this point now it's like more like an average.
But even the 6, I think the price on it when it came out was like $700 or $750. But that was in the days of subsidized phones when you paid $200.
Yeah.
And the carrier, technically paid for the rest.
Right.
Which they say, it was tied into the plan anyways, so you end up paying for it. So I guess it's kind of a wash, I think.
Yeah.
So next week I'll report how my new phone
on the
is doing.
10R.
Yeah, I can.
I'll have to start looking, see how long I can look
at
it.
I can put the bug in your ear. They do make it in red, so you can get Massenomics red right off the bat.
The thing is, there's a cover always goes on.
Well, but you can get the clear back to really accentuate,
the
look. There's a lot of ways around this, Tanner. The biggest one, though, is going to be giving up the headphone jack.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Headphone jack is going away. So
I do not like that. I forgot. And then, so the charger is different, or
no? Charger is the same.
The charger
There's
is
just
the same.
no headphone jack there. So
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I understand that things are. I don't like Bluetooth stuff.
Because that's the other one that if you're cheap and you haven't invested in all this new crap, Bluetooth doesn't work that good.
No,
like cheap ones, they
don't work that well.
No, they don't. Like it's always searching for them.
Yeah,
they're always dead. The battery's sucking them. So that one's gonna kind of suck. You can get the adapter. Like there's a few guys that have it in the gym.
They do,
it is annoying.
I guess I don't.
The biggest one for me is headphones with that. Yeah. Because wherever the only place I'm regularly plugging my phone in to listen to it is in my car. Because I don't have Bluetooth audio in my car.
Right.
I can do Bluetooth calls. I can't do Bluetooth audio because I drive a 2009 and I'm not from the future yet.
I think my 200003 Buick has Bluetooth.
I think they were really ahead of their time on the Bluetooth spec, if I remember correctly.
That's a Buick for you.
Yep. That's just innovation. But that one, I will just have the adapter just permanently on my car.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't really plug into many things, and
the gym.
But they do have one of the adapters there,
And the gym one
and the gym has Bluetooth,
yeah.
and actually some of the guys do use that already, So
yeah.
I guess I'll just add that to one of the devices, and But that's about it. Headphones. My wife has a pair of Bluetooth headphones, so I
use this for headphones sometimes, or earbuds. If I'm out going for a walk, like I was talking about.
I'm not a huge fan of wearing headphones in general, so I will a lot of times if I'm wearing a coat or something, I'll just put it in my pocket with the speaker up, so it's blasting into my face.
Well, that's what I do every morning as I'm listening to, I'm always doing that.
I just have it in the kitchen and wherever it's going. And we have actually several Bluetooth speakers in the house, and I just prefer not to even plug into them. I just this volume level is good enough. Yeah. I'm fine with it. So that's our tech review this week.
Thanks for listening.
If you guys want to know anything else, iPad Pros, new Macs.
We did politics last week.
Yeah.
Tech this week. What else?
Makeup and beauty tips are pretty popular on YouTube.
I'd like to get into religion one of these weeks.
Do that too. Yeah, we love that one out. Yeah. Oh, conspiracy theories are always. We can't run through politics and religion and then leave out conspiracy theories.
Have you ever watched like some of the 9/11 conspiracy theory shows?
Don't even get me started. I've seen your loose change in those ones. I kind of feel like that's required viewing.
Yeah.
In the American culture of things, get the skepticism radar up, but that is a dark hole you can go down, and I don't think a lot of people have the best ability at deciphering what could be or isn't possible.
I agree.
That's always a good one. Go to a bar with some buddies that are big conspiracy theories and just watch your fun level go all the way down. It's the best way to ruin a night. So go and fight that conspiracy theory friend out. You'll have a great time.
Should we talk about something that has to do with lifting here now for a little bit too?
We could.
I guess. I don't know if I'm not really positive if that's why anyone's listening or if they prefer. I think a lot of people prefer when we talk about shows that we like, and
I think so. Do you listen to audiobooks ever? I can never remember if I asked you this.
No.
See, I can say counting audio. I'm going to count audiobooks as reading a book. This year, I have read more books than I have probably in the previous 10 years combined.
So where do you get audiobooks from?
I do Audible. It's like $15 a month.
Yeah.
So you get one credit with that, and then if you want to get more, you can get credits at like a discounted rate or something. But the thing you don't realize is a lot of audiobooks are 8+ hours, and that's quite a bit of listening.
That is.
So
it's usually not a one setting thing.
No. There's I've listened to a few that are less, like 3 hours or less.
Yeah.
But especially once you get the ones that are over like 10, 12 hours, you kind of feel like you're in it for the long haul. You do get a little bit of a sense of accomplishment when you're done with it too.
Yeah.
I'm doing right now. This will be. I like to listen to like a lot of business oriented ones, just to get some ideas going. Get some more conversation in. But I am listening to Shoe Dog. It's the Phil Knight book. Are you familiar with who that is or what that is?
Phil Knight as in Nike?
Yes. It's like his kind of memoir of starting Nike and everything. And not, completely a business book. It's more just kind of his life story.
His life is a business,
I'm a few hours into it right now. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot that I didn't really have any clue with how they did it with Nike. And so
what about, is it the waffle iron that he...
I'm not that far yet, but I'm pretty sure that is part of it. Right now I'm just at the part, because I didn't realize that. Do you know what Onitsuka Tigers are?
I don't think so.
It's kind of like, I believe they're kind of tied in with ASICs. I haven't done a ton of research on this yet, but you know what? I'm just going to look since we're right here.
What did you say the name of it is?
Onitsuka Tiger. Yeah.
Okay.
They have to be connected to ASICs.
Oh, I
somehow.
recognize that.
Yeah. Unless ASICs bought them out now.
Yeah.
But I mean, they are ASICs. It's the ASICs logo.
Yep.
That is how Nike started, is how that Phil Knight somehow, he got kind of, there's a lot to it, but he gets kind of hooked up with these guys in Japan and then starts selling their shoes in America as Blue Ribbon Sports.
Okay.
And that's what starts the whole shoe business. And then I haven't got to it yet, but I'm pretty sure there's like a falling out or some type of dispute. And so he makes his own shoe company, which is at Nike at that point.
Yeah, but what did that ever do?
Not much.
Didn't really take off, did it?
Got frickin' Colin Kaepernick ruining the whole world now. So thanks a lot, Nike. But yeah, good read.
Yeah.
So now that we've covered books, now should we get to lifting?
Yeah, now we'll touch on lifting briefly.
Kind of an exciting announcement. This might have been 2 weeks ago. We're a little behind.
This is a little behind, but it won't stop us from analyzing it.
We got so caught up in something last week. Our fast food, I think.
Yeah.
That we forgot to break this to you guys. So I'm sure no one has been on Instagram and no one has seen this, but Thor will be competing in a powerlifting meet.
Yeah, December 15th, I think, is right? Mm-hmm. December 15th. Which is only a month away right now. Which when I first put the message out, I hadn't realized how soon this is coming. But it's only a month away. That means he probably only has as we sit here today, a couple more weeks of
heavy training.
Yeah.
He's got to be hitting deload pretty soon.
Yeah.
I mean, with the type of weights he's moving, you're not taking that right up to the meet.
No. So I would imagine by the end of November here, he's going to be done with any of his heavy training.
Assume, yeah.
And that is only a couple weeks, so that is not very long at all.
No. And
the meet's going to be in Iceland. I
that
don't know if
definitely
it's like
works out.
at his gym or somewhere else maybe.
Yeah.
But
That is nice though for him.
Yeah.
First meet, being pretty much a home meet,
yeah,
that
and
makes things easy.
They announced it's a WRPF meet, and I think Kirill Serchev is going to be there.
Is he?
And I don't know if he's benching maybe or just going to be there.
Cool.
I would be really cool if he was benching. What would be awesome is if they competed against each other.
That would be even better.
But I don't think that's the plan. But that would be really, really cool to see those two
I'd love to see
compete
that.
against each other. But I don't think they are. So WRPF meet, a few things. He won't be able to wear straps on the deadlift. Like, that's a new thing for him. I can't recall seeing him do many deadlifts prior to this that he was not wearing straps.
I can't either.
I guess what's your predictions on his each individual numbers, and we'll add it up for the total. Because
is this what he will attempt or what he will actually get?
Well, you could break it down of what you think he'll attempt.
Like I think loaded. Okay, see, I don't keep up with his bench training. Like,
I don't think there's that much of it.
No, but he's so like he should bench over 600, right?
I don't think he will.
You don't think so?
Just based on what I've seen. I mean, he might.
I think
I'm not here to bet against
Thor. He'll be
Thor.
right around it, though, won't he? I don't think he's gonna load up 675.
No, my thought is that he's gonna bench over 550. I would say pretty much for sure, but I don't think he's gonna bench 600. But I might be in the minority of that.
I will go against you then and say, because I think he's gonna be very close to it.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be right around 600. Squat.
So you think on his third? You're thinking his third attempt bench will be about
I think at
600.
some point he's gonna have very close to 600 loaded on the bar.
Yeah.
Squat, we should probably go into the correct order here.
Right.
Squat is. Do you know, are they walking these out? The WRPF, they use a monolift,
they can use a monolift. Yeah.
I don't think that the squat the walkout is the limiting factor for him either, though.
I don't think so either.
I think for him, like, out of all the other stuff he's doing, like walking out a squat is just like, yeah, whatever. But he does seem to push his squat training pretty good. I think he'll go over 1,000.
So 1,000, would you say?
We'll go a little ambitious on this. We'll say 1030. I think he has a low 1,000 squat out there. Whether he gets it or not, I'm not sure. But I think he will get over 1,000.
So you think his third one he'd be going for over 1,000?
Yeah.
So, and then you said 600, so he's at about 1630.
Yeah.
And then deadlifts.
Deadlift. So we know he has the strength for deadlift.
Did you see him? He posted a deadlift today.
No, I did not see that one yet.
837. I think he did it for 2 sets of 2.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't look like I wasn't blown
was he
away.
Straps on that or
no?
Okay, so it was like competition.
Yeah, he did it at a competition, and I wasn't blown. Like, I wasn't like, oh dang, he could rep that out.
But
for
he
10.
also, I don't think, especially at those heavier weights, there's people that I would say look more explosive on the deadlift.
Right.
Like, he is even. I mean, all of his deadlifts. There's definitely like the Lily Bridges. Like, it's like boom, 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 and then it like slows down in a hurry. But I would say he's a little more steady the whole way through. It'd be really cool to see him get 900. I think he'll make I think that's definitely in his game plan to probably make a run for 900.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I don't think he's going to be like a strong man that can, deadlift. What do you do on the elephant bar? 1037 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to do that and then be like, oh yeah, and I can only do 850 on a powerlifting standard.
Right.
So I'd love to see 900 to 950. That'd be really cool. 950. I mean, you're talking world record now.
Yeah.
So that's probably not going to happen.
So if you said 9, so what's your number? Will you say 900?
So if I said 9, I mean, if he got 9, he'd be at a 2,500 total. Yeah. So
25.
I think it's pretty safe to say that unless something crazy happens, he will have the biggest first meet of all time.
I think that's probably a guarantee.
I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, we might have to double check with our friends at Open Powerlifting on that, but
just like who else in their first
I wonder
ever meet?
If there's
probably a
2,000 totals in their first meet.
That one I would believe that. It would. I mean, it's still got to be only a few people, but I would believe it.
Dan Bell. I think his, because I'm just thinking our
rookie cards.
JP Price is like a 1,600, 1,700. Dan Green 1,500. Dan Bell might be about 2,000. Kaylor Woolham is the lowest. 675 pounds.
Yep. In his defense, he was what, a freshman in high school?
Yeah, and weighed 120 pounds and looked like.
But that also means that he has the biggest total.
Gained over 1,300 pounds on his total. Yeah.
That's really good.
Pretty impressive. But Dan Bell might be about the highest one I've seen out of any of those that we've done. Andy Huang was pretty high. He was like 18, close to 1,900. Larry Wheels, I think, was 16,
around,
17, something like that. Dan Bell's the highest one I can think of, though. But yeah, I mean, Thor will blow that out of the water. I don't think anyone's.
I don't know who else could have.
No,
because it wouldn't take. He wouldn't even have to have his best day to have a 2,400 total. I don't think.
Right.
I think that's fairly safe to say.
Yeah.
And how with 2,400 total guys? What do we say? Is there like 15 of them? We talked about this not that long ago.
9.
9 of them. Okay.
9 for
of
19 total.
And I don't think any of those guys, their first meet was their 2,400 meet.
No way. Not even close.
So
I
he can have that record to his name at the very least.
I think I'm gonna say he's gonna squat like 950. I think he's gonna squat about 950, and I think he's gonna bench like 550 and then try for more on his third and miss it. Like I feel like I think he's gonna like end up with like 550. So what's that? 950 and
1,500.
Yeah, 1,500. And then I think he's gonna deadlift a little bit over 900. I'd say is like 925. So 24, 25.
So yeah.
So that's what I think. I think he's gonna miss a couple of third. I think he's gonna hit all his squats, and I think he's gonna miss his third deadlift and his third bench.
The thing, where this gets confusing or where it gets a little tricky is that I think he's coming into a powerlifting meet with a little different approach than the average person, and. Is he coming in trying to PR every lift like, oh, yeah, like most of us would be trying to do?
Yeah.
I don't know if he is, because I don't know if that's in his best interest to be missing lifts.
Right.
Like, I think it looks better for the strong man to, like, do, a 975 squat, and people be like, oh, that was so easy.
Yeah.
He left so much out. And
Yeah.
it's his first meet. Like,
Yeah.
like, I feel like that's better for the conversation
You're right.
than for him to, like, hit 965 and be like, ooh, that was a little slow. Oh, he's going 1025, and like totally miss it.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna kind of come in with that approach of like he's got his image he's got to protect a little bit.
Yep.
And I believe that errs on the side of like making lifts look easy rather than.
So you would say maybe more conservative attempt selection than
maybe. So that already goes against what I picked against earlier.
On the squat, maybe.
On the squat.
Yeah. Probably on the deadlift. I think like about 900 is a relatively conservative third attempt for him.
And also with that one, though, I do feel like people are going to be a little disappointed if they don't see him go for at least 900.
I think people think he's going to deadlift like 1,000 pounds.
I think people do too, which I'm not saying he's –
No.
I think he's good for it at some point in his life.
Yeah, but I mean in a full meet.
I don't know if a full meet, but I also would say, though,
as conditioned as a
person
man.
that's watched the Arnold several times, I'm in as good of a position to speak on this as anyone. Are you any more fatigued from 3 squat and 3 bench attempts than you are from like their 1,600 pound yoke carry and all that stuff?
I think less.
Yeah, he should, I think, going into deadlifts feel just as good as probably better than he does any other day.
Well, he's used to when he deadlifts in a competition, he's always already done.
It's usually 2 or 3 days into an event. Yeah. He's already done 6+ events. The biggest difference is that he has straps.
Yeah. And it's on a bar.
It's on a regular bar. Like that's going to have a factor in it too. But I think that the straps are a bigger factor than the bar because any other like we talk about big dogs, the deciding factor for almost everyone there is grip when it comes to the final attempt deadlifts.
I could see where we could go out and total like 2350, and I wouldn't be like, oh, that's so far below my expectation. I could see that happening, and then I could see people being like, man, I thought he was gonna.
Well, and then all the powerlifting people will say, look, he's not that strong.
But it's like,
but also
like
he hasn't trained
ever.
Like he literally has not been training for this sport.
Yeah.
And he comes in and his first time puts up one of the best totals of all time.
Well, actually, I put it on our Instagram poll a while ago. I said I picked 2,400 as the over/under number, and about 75% of the people voted that they thought he'd go over 2,400.
Okay. So at least our audience has faith in him.
Yep, 3/4. But I still I personally think 2,400 is more like a 50-50 over-under, where I think 2,400 is a pretty fair line in the sand.
I
where
do too.
He could,
yep. Because that's the one, like, you miss, if he does do, like a 50-plus pound jump on his third attempt squat and does miss that number gets a lot harder to hit all of a sudden.
For sure.
Yeah.
Or, like, if he I don't know, his depth always looks fine to me, but, like, if he just cuts one high, I think they're probably... His judging is going to be in his favor. I assume there's some, there's something in it for Kirill and bringing this there.
Yeah.
Like there's.
I think he's going to have a lot of he's definitely, he has the home team on his side, here. So, but I do, compared to a lot of powerlifters, his technical proficiency, I would say, is better.
I think it's soft. Like, I've never seen a lift of his.
Like, you see him walk out all of his squats. He takes his time. They all look to depth for how massive he is. I don't know. You see, there's other powerlifters that for sure have way more issues with depth and training than he does.
Yeah.
Bench, I mean, he has videos of pausing. And then...
See, bench is where I believe, like, if he really was into powerlifting and training, he would probably have a lot bigger bench than what he's going to have. But he doesn't train bench
and
to
there's just not
top singles.
It's
like,
not
he doesn't want to tear his pec.
Yeah, there's not advantageous for him to be loading up 600 plus on the bench for his strongman training.
Right.
He's better off, training his overhead press and those things. And so it's almost like his bench power is just residual from the other things in this.
I'll be excited to see it, though.
Yeah, so I'm it is coming really fast, only a month out.
Yeah. I saw he did those 837 by 2. I know the other day he squatted 8+ for a couple reps.
I do think he does have this going in his favor, too. I'm not completely sure who his coach is for powerlifting.
It's an Australian strength coach,
okay.
Yeah.
I do think he's going to come in with more of a game plan than most people, too, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I think powerlifters are notorious for, like, either abandoning the game plan or not having a good one because they think they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whereas I think he will have.
Yeah, I think the numbers will be pretty. There's going to be.
It's going to be very calculated, just like his diet and everything too. Nothing is accidental.
Right.
It's all very intentional, very premeditated. Like, he's thinking of these things, and I'm sure they probably already have the game plan for his numbers.
I bet they do.
And they're just going to see how these next couple of weeks go, and if they have to make any minor tweaks, they might, and then reevaluate even on the day of. But. I don't think they have any surprises.
No, I just hope he's fully healthy, like, leading into it. And
I don't want to see it's like, he had a minor
bad hamstring,
or had a minor pec strain going in, so he has to take it down. Take 400-pound bench attempts instead of whatever he thought he was going to go for. So,
right.
Yeah, hopefully he can put together the perfect prep here, and it'd be awesome to see him go in and hit 2,500.
Yeah, it would be.
As a fan of the sport, I'd love to see that. Why not?
What I still really want to see him do is go and compete at big dogs.
I'd like to see that too.
If it could.
Well, and if he has a good meet here, maybe why not?
Yeah.
I guess depending on where it falls with his world's strongest man.
And there is money to be won there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not. Even compared to some of the strongman competitions, it's decent money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as much quite as the winner of the Arnold.
I was going to say even the U.S. Open, but that probably will never work just where it falls with strongman stuff. Being in like April, May.
And that's
World's
kind of
Strongest Man is usually in May, isn't it?
Yeah, and
around there.
And the Arnold's in March.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like that's asking for an injury right there.
Yeah, yeah, that would be.
That one probably won't happen. But yeah, big dogs would probably be the next most logical.
Yep.
One for him to jump on.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
To be determined.
Exciting times ahead. Also in other meets, Reebok Record Breakers are not Reebok Record Breakers.
But it was Slingshot Record Breakers, and then it was like presented by Reebok.
Oh,
there was Reebok
they must not have been the premier sponsor.
Yeah, they were still in there though.
Okay. Did you watch it?
No, I did. I saw it was a free live stream, and at one point in time,
I didn't watch it at all either.
No, I actually pulled it up once, and I hadn't realized the time zone difference of the times, and it still wasn't starting for 30 minutes, and then I got busy doing other stuff and never went back to it.
I don't even really know if there was. I don't think there was maybe as much record breaking as they would have hoped for at the meet.
Not very many, I don't think.
Like in years past, Kaylor Woolham, he was there last year, wasn't he? That was kind of probably the big story from it.
Yeah.
And I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, Jesse Norris was there.
I think Steffi Cohn's been there before.
Yeah, so there's been some people putting up really big totals. It seems like that just wasn't quite the case this year.
Dan Bell competed there this year, and I think he didn't do.
I saw he had like a 575
yeah,
bench.
he's happy with his bench.
That's a pretty good bench for him.
Yeah, I think he only.
That's a pretty good bench for anyone.
Yeah,
but
right. I think he ended up with only like a 905 squat, which would be way under his expectation, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the.
What did who is like what federation is that under even?
That is SPF.
It is okay.
Southern Powerlifting Federation. Yep. I don't know what.
Yeah, that seems the only one that Mark Bell is always kind of associated with, isn't it?
It seems to be a little bit, I would say, looser on the rule book than USPA.
Like a USPA, yeah.
I think.
But
most
I also
people
think
would agree
USPA
with
has that reputation as being the
Right.
toughest one,
right?
non-IPF.
Because this one, like Ed Cohn's always the judge, and
yeah, you get the judges that are also recording and
Yeah.
doing this. It's like that doesn't look good for any sport, Like,
yeah. So Dan didn't quite have the meet he wanted, I don't think. Someone that did have a pretty good meet was Herbie the Love Bug.
Yeah.
I did see that. I can't remember his numbers, but
I think he had like a pretty 8-something deadlift. Yeah, pretty big one there.
Yeah. Well, we could jump into big lifts because there was a one of the girls, I got her numbers in big lifts that she competed there is Christy Hawkins, and she. In 165 women, Christy Hawkins, she set a world record in everything.
Yeah.
At the meet, like in literally every category. What did she squat? What were her numbers?
529 squat.
And this is in sleeves. She broke the world record.
Yeah, 529 squat, 331 bench, and a 557 deadlift for a 1418 total.
All of those four were world records.
Yeah.
And she also has the squat in sleeves world record and the total in sleeves world record. So she literally has every 165 woman's world record.
When you mean wraps, right?
Yes. Because this is sleeves.
Yeah.
She also has the wraps world record and the total in wraps world record.
Yeah, that's domination right there.
That's pretty much.
Like you can't. Is there anywhere else? Any other classes where that exists? Like it's almost always that if you have the deadlift record, you are not setting either the bench or the squat.
Yeah.
Like that's almost like a rule,
I'm sure that can't. Not in men's at least. I'm thinking about men's, and I can't picture where that. Well, no.
No, I don't know who that would be. Because the best deadlifters.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Yuri Belkin, what records? He's got deadlift record, but probably not the squat or the bench record.
I would say he definitely has deadlift in total.
Yeah, deadlift in total.
There's so many bench specialists for guys.
And Larry, has some total records, but I don't know I don't know
His
what
squat
individual records.
No, he wouldn't have a squat. He could possibly have a bench and deadlift at his weight class.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know if he does or not, though.
Yeah. We could hop on open powerlifting, but we're just going to keep assuming on this one. So.
We like to...
one of the more interesting attempts, now I remember you telling me about this, and I was a little surprised, was Julius Maddox.
Yeah, at Reebok Record, or Slingshot Record Breakers. I even heard Mark Bell
do it too?
Call it Reebok Record Breakers, which is funny because he's the one paying the sponsor, and to him,
still giving him the free plug.
Julius Maddox, who is an enormous man. I think he's about 6'3", 425 is what he weighs in at, and his opening attempt bench, he's just doing bench only, and he went in as his opening attempt at 716 pounds. Which,
if you don't keep up with things, it's a big bench.
It's not a bad bench. It's actually the third heaviest, makes him the third heaviest bencher of all time, only behind Sierchev and Spoto at 722.
Well, but what about Mendy?
That his is 715.
Oh, it is 715.
That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Scott Mendelson has the 715 bench, so this puts.
So that was the goal.
Yeah,
that was the okay. Interesting.
So his opener is 716. In my opinion, I think I even said this to you going into it as like, I think he's gonna get that based on how I saw him train, and I don't think he's gonna get anything after that.
Yep.
And that is exactly
was exactly what you told me, and that was how it happened.
Because he did like 630 for a set of 5 and 645 for some doubles, and he did 705 when we were at the cage at the Arnold this year. So I knew he was in the ballpark, but I was like, he's not gonna do 716 and then 725 and then 740. Like I couldn't picture him doing
three basically world record attempts back to back to back. Like that seems like poor attempt selection.
So, but he did get it, and it looked hard. He locked
Which it
one
should
up.
be.
Yeah.
716.
Yeah, he locked one arm out like a little bit slower than the other. It was a little bit lopsided there for a while, and but it looked like a good rep to me. And he kind of said he did that without even really peaking for the meet.
Really?
Like he just kind of trained, and he same at the
start peaking here.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, that is his goal, is to get the world record bench, and then he's going to go full power, he said.
So what would the world record bench actually be then?
I think it's 738
right?
or whatever, 730 something like that.
Well, I mean, at this level,
What's another?
23 pounds. Like, what's that? Like 2% better?
Yeah.
Like, come on, just try 2% harder.
Well, they always say the last 25 pounds is the easiest.
Yeah,
that's what I like to say.
Yeah, so
like
I think at the top of your game,
Yeah.
that rule applies more than ever.
That's when someone's gets that 500-pound squat. They just hit their 500-pound PR, and then they say road to 600.
Yep.
That last 100 pounds is always the easiest.
It is. I mean, you might as well actually skip that and just say road to 700 because it's locked up. It's guaranteed.
It gets so much easier. It gets like exponentially easier to gain
you
more
work
weight
to build
as you
this
go.
base, and your base is so good that everything goes into autopilot from there on out.
It's so easy to keep getting stronger once you start to get stronger.
So yeah, he should be benching 800 in no time. I think
pretty easily, I would think.
Nothing to worry about there.
And we are in our big lift segment.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we didn't make that super clear. Maybe the big lifts music didn't play today, but
we are into big lifts.
Yeah, we're fully in big lifts.
But that covered most of the Reebok Record Breakers big lifts.
Yeah.
Or Slingshot Record Breakers big lifts.
Reebok is loving the free advertising.
All that free Massenomics podcast airtime.
Blaine Sumner. What was it? Like IPF Classic Worlds? Is that
Open Worlds?
Open Worlds. Yeah,
which is their single ply.
Yep.
Yeah.
He benched 915. Looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And then he. So that was the new world record, which he probably chipped that by what?
I think so. Yeah.
Whatever increment.
It was like
914,
I suppose, before.
He went for 937, and when you watch it, it's a good lift, and the judges also thought it was a good lift. But then I don't know how this works. It went to the jury somehow. The jury looked at it, said he lifted his head, overruled it, and it was no longer considered a good lift. I believe the IPF is the only federation that has the head rule. Pretty much every other federation, as long as your shoulders and butt stay on the bench, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know that there is any other ones where your head has to stay down.
Yeah, and he lost it. Like, if he has hair, I don't know if he loses that.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably good. But the fact that he's bald maybe makes it a little easier to spot for the minute amount that it moves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that got overturned, but he's definitely good for it.
It looked, I don't know, it didn't look any different to me than, like, his 915.
The interesting comment that I saw in the topics, and Blaine replied to it, someone said, like, Blaine, when your back is that big, how do you keep your head on the bench? And I think his response was, I'm trying to figure that out too, which he has a point.
Yeah.
Like, there comes a point where in lifting, when you're as massive as these guys are, like, it's the sport of powerlifting isn't doing you favors, you know? Like, it is way more advantageous to be small. Like, in some of these things, like, I think you get more out of things, you know?
Yeah.
The bench, when you're little, the bench covers way more of your back. Like, that's one where if you're a skinny person, that's like you and me getting to use the fat pad. Like, oh man, like, this thing is so much room here, and we don't have the world's biggest backs by any means. But like, and I can only imagine what it's like with these guys, you know, to use the narrower IPF bench versus the
especially someone like Blaine, who is as wide as like a Coke machine.
Yeah,
you know?
Like, you're bouncing it on there, and then he has to keep his heels down. And
he's wearing a shirt too.
He's wearing a shirt. Like, yeah, it's tough. We'll save that one for a minute.
Yeah.
Friend of the podcast, Bonica Brown.
Yeah. Also lifting at IPF Open Worlds.
Yep. Bubbly powerlifter.
Yep.
Correct. 701 single ply squat. It's a good squat.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it or not, but her squat in single ply looks just like a raw squat.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's almost no difference.
No.
It's just like, oh yep, I just throw the suit on. And
and when I watch that, that makes it's easy to really respect single ply when you see someone squat like that, and she squatted it deep too, where I'm like, oh man, she really smoked that. Like, it just looks like a squat when you watch it. Doing. Yeah.
And she's good at what she does.
Yes, which is a world record, and I'm sure she set a total world record too.
And speaking of world record squats, the final one on the list here.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this guy before this year already.
Yeah.
Dave Hoff squatted 1,234 pounds.
I wonder if that's why he chose that number.
It has to be.
I don't think it was a world record.
Oh, it wasn't?
I think he probably had a total world record.
Okay. Is that what it was?
Maybe, but I mean, it's up. It's like top.
It's got to be right in the area. But did you see it, Tanner?
I did. Marshall, Marshall something from Fargo. He's a multiply lifter, and he posted a video of it from the front.
Like he was there, or
he was there lifting.
Where was the meet at?
It was WPO. It's like this thing they brought back that used to be at the Arnold, like it used to be.
Oh yeah. Donnie Thompson always posts about. Yeah.
So that's what this is. Like they're kind of trying to like get
resurrect
a research.
it?
Yeah, resurrect it, and so it's like there. I say there, like multiply. West Side kind of guys and stuff. It's like their Super Bowl, I suppose, or their biggest event of the year. So I think it's it's a big deal for them to even lift in that. But I saw a video of it from the front, and
it's what you'd expect. Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess I just don't appreciate it enough. I'm not really sure what to say about it. It's just not what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So it's
we also don't have the perspective on it.
Right.
We've never done it.
No. Right.
I don't know. That's literally it. I don't know.
Yeah. It doesn't look like the squats that I'm used to watching.
It's like an entirely different movement.
Yep.
Like, the bar's going down, but they're in completely different gear than what we're used to. Like, it's a completely different setup. It's in a monolift.
They stand, they have a width that is just way outside of what anyone
and
would squat
none of those
with
things
raw,
are right or wrong.
You
They're
know.
just all together added up to be like a completely
Way
different beast than what we have any opinion on.
Yeah.
Or than what we have any insight on, I should say. We have an opinion. We don't have any insight on it, though. He did a 1234 squat.
Yeah, and I don't remember what his total was and everything, but I guess he won WPO. I think he won some money, a few $1,000.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah,
Money's
it's all about
good.
the Benjamins.
Prize money's always good. Yeah. We're already getting down there on time. Do we stat of the week?
Stat of the week. Yeah, we could do a stat of the week. Actually, for the stat of the week.
So all you people that have been waiting all episode for the stat of the week, you can hear this and then finally quit listening now.
Sometimes we mix it in towards the middle, towards the beginning, but today we're gonna
keep you on
bust
your
it
toes.
out here towards the end. And what it's gonna be this week is actually we posted this on Instagram earlier this week, but of the 12 men's weight classes in powerlifting, 7 of the world record deadlifts come from the WRPF. That did get amended later. The guys at Open Powerlifting looked, and there was one correction that they had to make, and it actually turns out to be 6 of the 12 world records.
We're going to go the other way with
it. No. So they said 6.
So 50% of men's deadlift world records come from the WRPF.
Yeah, and they did add one bit of information to that here just today that I want to find, because Kaylor Woolham asked the question, kind of asked it to us, but then I'd redirected it to Open Powerlifting. He said, I'm guessing that meet that he lifted in there was the most 900-pound deadlifts in any meet ever. And what Open Powerlifting said is they got their team to find the info out on that, and that WRPF Worlds that's the meet that they're at. Has the most 900-pound deadlifts in a single meet ever with 5.
Wow.
The second most ever was Boss of Bosses 4, which had 3. And that.
So
900 plus deadlifts.
When they say that, are they counting like multiple attempts? Like if Yuri does
like
3 900-pound deadlifts, does that count as 3, or are they just saying final like individuals?
I think just individual.
Okay.
I'm not positive.
It has to be because Yuri and Kaylor both take at least 2 900-pound deadlifts each, right?
Right, I think so.
Because they both have probably a 903 and then a 920 or 930, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I think that one actually had a lot of discussion on it. The fact that 50% of the world's deadlift records come from the WRPF.
Right.
And it's interesting. It brings the debate in. Is there crazy whippy bar? They're super wide plates that who knows what those things are. Is that the reason for these lifts?
That's kind of the.
That's kind of what it's hinting at. It's not saying that's the reason, but
what I asked Kaylor too is I think you could look at it two ways. Is it because of those plates in the bar? Is that why people are deadlifting 900?
Or are they just really getting the top talent?
Yeah, are the top talented deadlifters drawn to those plates
to
those meets and to those plates and to those bars? The people that, and that's what Kaler kind of said. He said all the people there deadlifting over 900 pounds are basically 900-pound deadlifters anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But he does say
that it does have an effect.
Yeah, he says he could deadlift a little bit more because of that setup.
And he doesn't necessarily say like the whole thing is just easier. Like he does say there's
some parts of it that could be harder too. That if you get misgrooved or if you jerk, if it's not like a steady pull.
Because he does say the whip is a real factor.
Yeah, that it could actually throw you off or be a hindrance for some people.
So
too.
I'm curious, are any of those lifts out of the WRPF, are any of those conventional?
I don't know. I don't think so. I
don't think they are either. Because there's Kaler, there's Yuri, there's that lighter Russian guy that I can't even think of his name. Those guys I know for a fact all pull or that lighter, I cannot think of his name, but I think he either pulls high 800s or low 900. Also, there's three other guys. I don't even know who they are. I don't even know.
And some of those guys did just do deadlift only, and those that's the record. That 6 out of 12 is includes deadlift only, or
does it also
push pull, or...
when it comes to the world record, they also include fourth attempts too, though, don't they?
Yeah,
that doesn't count in the total, but I think it counts for the individual lift.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
That is another unique thing is that WRPF does offer fourth attempts on deadlift.
Yeah.
So that could be where you are seeing some more, whereas other lifts, if people do rock their third deadlift, you're just done for the day. Here you do get that chance to kind of take the victory lap and really see what you got.
So at WRPF Worlds, there was 5 900-pound plus deadlifts. At Big Dogs 1, 2, and 3, do you know how many 900-plus deadlifts there's been?
Oh, across all the big well, this year was there 1?
0.
Oh, there was 0 this year. Was there 1? Oh, there was multiple attempps, but
zero.
0. 1?
It's 0.
There's never been a 900. Wow. That's interesting. Those guys just, they're going through a lot. Like they're putting up a world record total, but damn, that's surprising.
Yeah.
And it's not for a lack of 900-pound deadlifts being attempted.
No, and I think part of it is the speed of that meet. It's just one flight of 10-ish guys, so you're running through pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to deadlift, you might be more tired than in a normal meet.
That is really shocking. I would have guessed for sure that Big Dogs would have had one 900-pound deadlift.
And they're all like those really big squatters. All those guys that are squatting close to 1,000. Yeah, but it's just fun. It's
more.
Yeah. Right.
Wow, that's actually like a fact of the week right there for you too. That's pretty cool.
All those little tidbits rolled up into one Open Powerlifting stat of the week.
Sprinkled all over it. Cool. Well, thank you, Open Powerlifting.
You guys did it again.
We are almost out of time here. Do we have a review we want to go through?
Yeah, we do have one review that needed to be read here. This is a review of the Massenomics podcast on Apple Podcasts, which we'd encourage any of you to leave a review
if you have an iPhone 6 or older. We understand if you don't.
What if it's the latest iPhone 6?
Maybe you should get a new iPhone. If it's the latest iPhone 6, you might not have a valid excuse, but if you do have one of those, maybe upgrade, and then you could leave us a review.
Title is Second Strongest Podcast, and this is from 5 out of 5 stars, and their handle is Iron Memes Podcast. It said, the conversations are fruitful and beyond entertaining. They charge for logos on their shorts, but that's okay because you squat more in them. Signed, Not Iron Minds.
I like it.
Yeah.
I wonder who that could be from.
I may have left them a comparable review a little while ago, so they're
nice,
repaying the favor.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. We're making our way close to that 100 Apple Podcast review mark, which if you click around like other lifting podcasts and stuff, if you go to how it's made, it's got, obviously I'm not comparing us to that, but like as far as the realm that we're in, hitting that 100 reviews number would
it's
mean
like
something.
It's like a 900-pound deadlift.
Yeah. Might even be like it'd be like deadlifting 900 pounds at Big Dogs.
nearly impossible.
Yeah. With your help, we could do it.
Yeah. Do it, people.
Yeah, who knows? That 100th review might even get you something.
It might.
It might get you read on the Massenomics podcast.
Might get you a shout out on
the other 100 of them.
Should we give them the rundown?
Yeah. What is the rundown? What are you expecting in that rundown? I would say we could talk about this even just a little bit more. What we got coming out, because I think by the time you're listening to this, we do have new products that have launched.
And if we don't, they are literally on their way to be in our hands.
So recheck in the next couple days. These products are going to be...
This will actually be our biggest launch ever. Our biggest drop.
Do we call it a launch, a release, a drop, or what? All of those?
We could just do this segment 3 times and use each word, and you could just listen to the one that you feel is the best one for you.
So first, this is going to be our biggest launch ever.
Yeah.
We've got full restock of the bench shirt that you've all come to know and love.
Bigger sizes.
Yeah, all the way up to 4XL for the big dogs out there.
And this is even a more generous cut too. So. Yeah.
So it'll be a bigger sizes, bigger sizes.
A big upgrade.
Yes. So that's one thing. That's kind of restocking something we've already had. But then we've got 3 brand new items never before seen in the Massenomics store. And they're all sweatshirts.
Do you want to do it to them, Tanner?
Yeah, they're all sweatshirts. The first one is going to be a Gunmetal Heather crew neck lift logo sweatshirt. And we have done a crew neck one time of the
very limited edition.
Very limited, and it was also in a similar blue. This is the first time we've ever done the lift in
any color besides blue.
Yeah.
So this will be a first in several ways.
Yeah, and that one is a crew neck.
Yep.
So that is our one.
And you might be complaining, no, I want a hoodie. Well, the lift logo doesn't fit on those.
Yes,
it's too big. So you look at your sweatshirt, there's a hoodie pocket. Yeah. The logo would go over. It doesn't work that way. So we couldn't give it to you on those.
Yeah, so the lift logo is not going to probably ever appear on a hoodie. It's just not.
And someone's probably thinking, well, I know someone that can print it. Well, we don't want it over the pocket. Yeah. We don't want that.
We have a certain look. So, but it does look pretty sweet on the crew neck.
It does, yes.
Yeah. And the gray looks pretty cool, I think, too.
Yep, for
Actually,
sure.
Gunmetal Heather.
Yep. So now you're some of you out there are butthurt because you don't want a crew neck. Well, we don't stop there.
Yeah. Back on the bench shirt topic, we're releasing that in a heathered blue hoodie.
Yeah.
With this bench heavy logo.
And this will be the first hoodie in the history of Massenomics.
Yes, that's true.
So that's
a lot of people have been asking about hoodies for a while.
And we sat on that way too long. So we're bringing you with a hoodie.
Yes.
But
wait.
There's one more thing.
There's more.
Don't go yet.
Yeah.
Well, how do you follow up with the first Massenomics hoodie? You follow it up with the first Massenomics zip hoodie.
Wait. That's not zip, is it?
Yeah, we have a zip one too, don't we? No, we don't have a zip one. Sorry, we followed up with the first, with the second Massenomics hoodie, but it's the first camo Massenomics hoodie.
Yes, exactly.
Camo zip. It's the same thing. Guys, we talked about a lot of things here. I can't keep them all straight. They just need to get here so I can see them. But yeah, I'm glad you can set me straight there, Dan. Yeah. We have a camo hoodie, and this is an all-new design.
Never before released.
Never before released. Yeah. And this is the Massenomics Eagle. It's a bit of a. It's just kind of your good. You just have to wait and see it. But we
call it our Eagle logo.
It's got a bit of a military vibe to it, kind of that old school cool look. It's just got kind of a tough look to it.
I'm pretty excited about that.
It's not beverage inspired, so some of you might be upset by that.
Yeah,
but also.
Some of you might be excited about that.
Some of you might be excited about that. And it is camo.
If you're like, hey, when are these guys ever going to do something that doesn't have to do with beer?
Here it is.
This one. But you can
and
still
it is
drink
camo
beer.
inspired, which seems to be the other thing we like to do too. I mean, and then the final thing is we spent a lot of time looking for good sweatshirts. These are the best sweatshirts.
Yes.
Like
I would say they're the best sweat. I mean,
they are no lie, you probably have a sweatshirt from some company in the world right now. You've probably bought a sweatshirt from this company before in your life, and you don't even realize it. Like, this is the sweatshirt company. Like, this is the premier sweatshirt company. Yep. So these, the fit is perfect. The quality, like, their fleece line, like, they're super nice. So I'm really excited about these things.
Yep, I am. I want to get one to start wearing it myself.
Yeah.
That's...
for 8 months of winter. Maybe get 2 even.
Let's put them on both at the same time. Maybe a hoodie over the crew neck.
Yeah, now we're talking.
The hardest part is probably going to be able to pick your favorite, I would think.
It will be. So you'll have to get all three to really find out.
Yeah. Brian from Omaha, Benzel.
Yep.
They call crew necks nudies.
Really?
Like
never
instead
heard
of hoodies, like with an N in the front.
I suppose.
You know,
I've never heard that before.
Yeah,
though.
because he saw that we were coming out with hoodies, and he was like, "What about the for the nudie crowd?"
I didn't know what he meant.
Yeah.
I did see that. I didn't know what he meant by that.
I think because they really like crew necks.
They do. Okay.
Yeah.
I like crew neck, and for lifting, I kind of feel like crew necks are a little advantageous. Like you don't have that hood in your way when you're benching or when you're squatting. You know, but hoodies are pretty stylish. Also functional. There's a hood on them.
Mm-hmm. And the pocket.
And the pocket. So again, we have all of our bases covered. Yeah. You guys are set.
So order them up. We're excited to see how our big launch party goes on them.
Yeah, but what about the drop party?
Oh, no, okay. That was our launch party. Right. I would say also when you're listening to this, Thanksgiving is coming up within a few days. Watch for our Thanksgiving Black Friday deals. We do have Black Friday deals this year.
They're going to be good, too.
So I don't want to give them away yet because we probably have. I don't know if we would have posted about it by this time or not. But there's going to be some.
We'll just say there could be a little extra coin going back into your pocket,
like
and the keyword being here, a little extra, little coin.
So, everyone knows the shtick on our lift shorts, but just be on the lookout. There could be a big
You're
deal
not a millionaire. They might be affordable to you now.
Keep your eyes peeled on that one. Other than that, I think you guys know all the places, the usual suspects to find us. YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, everywhere that you listen to podcasts.
Website.
On Overcast, you could listen to us
you
there.
can listen to it anywhere.
Yeah, all right, so listen to them all, read all our articles, buy all our sweatshirts.
And follow us while you're at it.
Yeah, what's the
And you can
handle?
find me at Tomahawk_D.
Check me out, us out on the official Massenomics Instagram at Massenomics. We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
You just heard the Massenomics podcast. With your ears, you're welcome. Check us out on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Massenomics, and make sure you visit Massenomics.com and buy some of that sweet Massenomics gear. From your friends at Massenomics Studio, home of the world's strongest podcast, stay strong.